Today we're going to be answering one of the hardest questions in Marvel Rivals history. What the is cheating? To me, cheating is doing something that gives you an unfair advantage over another player that wasn't intended by the game. Pretty simple. Aimbot, cheating. Wall hacks, cheating. ESP, cheating. But after that, things start getting a little bit more complicated. If you were to ask 10 different Marvel Rivals players what cheating is, you'll get 11 different answers. Aimbot, wall hacks, configs, no, configs are fine. No, all configs are cheating. My friend's config isn't cheating because he sent it to me. Like, what are we doing? We've reached the point where people think changing your brightness is equivalent to installing wall hacks. So let's actually draw the line, because I think people are mixing completely different things together. Let's start with graphics configs. The scary word configs. The second someone says it, half the community starts acting like they just admitted to tax fraud. Guys, if your config is literally making your game uglier so it can actually run, who cares? Like, for real. Rivals is optimized like someone got an Unreal Engine and put duct tape on it and had hope that it ran. I personally have a 3080 with an i9 12th generation and only 16GB of DDR5 RAM. Not the greatest PC ever made, but definitely not a potato. Yet, somehow Rivals is the only game that makes me question if my PC is dying. If I were to install configs right now, boom, my frames jump from having 50 to about 130. Suddenly the game is playable. Am I cheating because my trees look ugly? Or is it because my shadows don't have 8K RTX ultra realistic reflections? Who am I hurting besides the bushes? If someone wants their game to look like a PS2 launch title just so they could get stable frames, go for it. That isn't cheating. That's just trying to run the game at a manageable frame rate. The real issue is NetEase. Optimize your fucking game. People aren't editing configs just for fun. They're editing configs because they don't want to play above slideshow frames. It's whole different talk. Now let's talk about the hurtful configs. Not every config is just graphics. Some actually change what you're able to see. Removing fog, removing waterfalls, removing environment effects. Okay, now we're actually having a convo about someone who's cheating, because those things exist for everyone. They're part of the map. If you remove them, you're seeing information that other players don't get to see. To me, that's a complete advantage. Competitive games are built around people playing under the same conditions. The second one player starts removing things everyone else has to deal with, that's where the line starts to get blurry. Then, the newest thing, the final boss, I bet you've already seen it on Twitter, Screen Shake. Oh my god. This one started a war. Is removing Screen Shake cheating? Personally, I think it's a lot closer than people want to admit. For example, let's look at Black Widow. If I'm scoped in, trying to track someone, and I shoot, the gun is going to have kickback. If I were to download no screen shake, my gun is going to be stable like a fucking laser beam. Now, let's take this into account. Let's say two Black Widow players are 1v1ing. Same skill, same aim, same monitor, same mouse, same reaction time, pretty much the same everything. Except one player has to deal with screen shake. One player is fighting the game's visual effects while the other doesn't. Let that sink in.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, my bad, dog.
Hell no,
My bad. Let me lock in.
man.
You're telling me these two people are competing on an even playing field? Yeah, nah, you're fucking stupid if you think that. People will try arguing that it doesn't aim for you. Okay, so it doesn't aim for you. Neither does having a 360Hz monitor. Neither does having low input delay. Neither does having higher FOV. Neither does having just a better gaming setup in general. But every single one of these things can help you perform easier. Why do we act like removing one of the biggest visual distractions in a game doesn't help? In my opinion, removing screen shake makes tracking easier. Whether you think it's enough to call it cheating, that's a debate. But pretending it has zero impact? Come on, let's be for real. If it made zero impact, nobody would talk about it. But, moving on. Now let's move on to the classic cheats. Aimbot, wall hacks, ESP. Those aren't even worth talking about. You're cheating, congrats, you're bad. Hope that clears things up. Moving on, macros. Now, this is a fun one. If you're pressing one button and your PC is doing 5 inputs for you, how is that your skill? You're just automating something. People always want to argue, well, I pressed the button, yeah, and I cook dinner if I order DoorDash. You see how stupid it sounds? Come on now, lock the fuck in. Anyways, crosshair overlays. In my opinion, this depends. If your game hides your crosshair during actions and you're putting one back with outside software, you're getting in a gray area. Again, not aimbot, but definitely changing the experience. Moving on from that, hardware. This one's funny. People saying if you got a better PC, that's an advantage. Yeah, it is, but that's hardware. You're not modifying the game. There's a difference between buying better equipment and editing the game files themselves. And I think that's where people get confused. Optimization isn't the same thing as modification. Making your game run better because NetEase can't optimize it, that's fair. Removing gameplay elements, now you cross into something completely different. So where do I personally draw the line? Graphics, I don't care. Turn your game into gray Minecraft if you want. Have fun. Removing things that affect gameplay, like fog, waterfall, screen shake, no, I think that's where you're trying to get an edge over other people. That's something that you should have a discussion over. Those aren't making your FPS better. They're changing the experience compared to everyone else. And in a competitive game, that matters a lot. At the end of the day, I don't think this is something the community should be deciding. NetEase should. They should, step in and tell us what's allowed, tell us what isn't. We currently have pro players running no screen shake. I'll just put a clip up right now. But they need to give us actual rules. Because right now, everyone's just making up their own definition of cheating. One guy says configs are fine. Another guy says they're bannable. Another guy says they're required to hit 144 FPS. Nobody knows. I've heard NetEase say modifying the game files to add skins, to add anything in the game, like packs or whatever, is considered cheating and you will get banned for it. But I haven't seen anyone get punished for it yet. So it's a gray area right now. This convo is going to keep happening every single month. But again, this is just my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Where do you draw the line? What do you think is cheating? And what do you think is just optimizing? Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.